What if the season you're frustrated with right now is actually the season God is using to prepare you for something bigger? What if the delays, closed doors, unexpected changes, and battles you've been facing aren't signs that God has forgotten you, but signs that He's preparing you? We often expect God's blessings to arrive suddenly. We want the breakthrough, the answered prayer, the new opportunity. But before God gives you something new, He often changes you first. And sometimes, the preparation feels nothing like a blessing. So how do you know if God is preparing you for something bigger? Here are 5 signs you should not ignore. Sign number 1, God is removing things you thought you needed. Sometimes God prepares you for your next season by taking something out of your current one. A relationship ends. A door closes. A plan doesn't work. Something you were certain would happen suddenly disappears. And you ask, God, why are you taking this away? But what if the answer is that it was never meant to go where you're going? Isaiah 43:19 says, "See, I am doing a new thing." Before God does something new, He may require you to release something old. We often pray for God to give us more, while He is trying to teach us how to let go. That closed door may not be rejection. It may be protection. That ending may not be punishment. It may be preparation. So don't spend all your energy trying to reopen doors God has already closed. Sometimes the door had to close because your next chapter is somewhere else. Sign number 2, you are being forced to grow in areas you used to avoid. God's preparation isn't always comfortable. You may suddenly find yourself learning patience, discipline, forgiveness, emotional control, and how to trust God when you don't have answers. And you might wonder, why am I going through this? Because the person who receives the blessing needs to be prepared to carry it. David was anointed to become king, but he didn't become king immediately. There was a season of hiding, hardship, and testing before the throne. Joseph received dreams about his future, but before those dreams became reality, he experienced betrayal, slavery, and prison. The promise came first, the preparation came next, and the fulfillment came later. Your current struggle may be developing qualities you'll need for the future God has planned for you. Don't despise the training season. Sign number 3, God is teaching you to trust Him instead of yourself. There are seasons when God doesn't give you the entire plan. He gives you the next step. That's it. You pray, but you don't know what will happen. You move forward, but you can't see where the road ends. You want answers, but God seems to be asking you for faith. Proverbs 3:5 says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding." Sometimes God removes certainty because He wants to build trust. If you knew exactly how everything would work out, you wouldn't need faith. And perhaps that's exactly what God is developing in you right now. You don't need to see the entire staircase. You just need enough faith to take the next step. Sign number 4, your desires are changing. This one is easy to miss. You start losing interest in things that once consumed you. You no longer want the same attention. The same lifestyle doesn't satisfy you anymore. You begin wanting peace more than popularity, purpose more than approval, and God more than temporary success. Your priorities start changing, and suddenly you're asking different questions. Is this God's will? Does this bring me closer to Him? What does God actually want for my life? That transformation matters. Romans 12:2 tells us to be transformed by the renewing of our minds. Sometimes God prepares you for a new assignment by first giving you a new heart for it. You may not even recognize the person you're becoming, and that's okay. God may be preparing you to walk into something that the old version of you would never have been ready to handle. Sign number 5. You have to wait. This may be the hardest sign of all, because we want everything now. We pray today and want the answer tomorrow, but God's timing is not our timing. Psalm 27:14 says, "Wait for the Lord, be strong and take heart, and wait for the Lord." Waiting doesn't mean nothing is happening. A seed is hidden before it becomes a tree. A baby develops in secret before anyone sees the result. And sometimes God is doing His deepest work in your life, where nobody else can see it. You may feel forgotten. You may feel stuck. You may wonder why everyone else seems to be moving forward while you're standing still. But don't confuse waiting with wasting time. God can use a waiting season to build your character, strengthen your faith, change your priorities, and prepare you for what you've been praying for. So if you're in a season where doors are closing, you're being stretched, you're learning to trust God, your desires are changing,